Welcome to Reddit Obsessed.
I just confirmed she's cheating. But the proof is a little thin. Advice needed. I've been lurking on this sub for about 6 months. And have really appreciated the sound advice and perspective you guys have offered to folks over the years. I've read back quite a ways. Below is a as brief as possible description of my current situation. I'd be thankful for any advice regarding how to proceed from here. My partner 32F and I 43 meters have been together for about 5 years. We have a 5-year daughter together. So obviously things moved quickly after we first met. Were both committed to working together to be happy as a couple and to provide a loving home for our daughter. We both work in healthcare. So continuing education/degree inflation is an ongoing reality. Things were good between us until summer of 2019. When I began a 2-year full-time degree program while continuing to work full-time. We had mutually agreed that my partner wouldn't take on any educational endeavors until I completed my additional degree. This decision was made for several reasons. Completion of my degree came with a significant contractually obligated increase in income. And we both agreed that for the household to still function and for our relationship to not crack under the weight of the stress, only one of us should have what is effectively a second job at any given time. We did well adjusting to the new workload at first. But with significant increased stress that definitely impacted my emotional availability/libido. A few months in, the opportunity arose for my partner to take on a second job, a work-from-home part-time position. Since she had significant personal debt at the time which she explicitly refused to allow me to help with due to her low-income family history and a respectable sense of pride in doing it herself, we agreed, despite my strong reservations regarding the previously discussed risks, to give it a try. After 3 more months into 2020, we became fairly distanced. The pandemic lockdown was in full effect. I'm working full-time and in school full-time. And she's working 2 jobs that amount to 60 hours/week. And we're doing our best to give our daughter the time she needs. After a couple months of this distant state, my partner randomly states my phone number used to belong to insert name here, and this guy from Sanford keeps calling and texting. I asked, why don't you just tell him it's not her number anymore? And block the number? I immediately became suspicious because it just seemed so out of the blue. After that time, I would regularly see notifications regarding texts and call from that number on her lock screen. Literally just at a glance. I had probably been seeing it for a while before I noticed it was often the same number, mixed in with all the other spam and legit calls. Once I noticed it, I kept on noticing it. Due to the ongoing stress and general craziness of our lives, I didn't have the wherewithal to bring it up, knowing that it would start a fight. Periodically I'd say something and she'd laugh it off, that crazy Sanford guy. But I never pressed her. I also never saw any content from the texts, or heard any calls. Because only the number is displayed in her notifications, no text preview or anything. I didn't snoop into her phone for a deeper look. Fast forward to mid-January this year, when I noticed the number again. Got fed up, and sent a text to it from my phone which said, "Hey, who is this?" And this guy just straight up gave me his name. I looked him up on True People's a search. And he's this married guy who lives in Sanford. Name and number match from the search. So I know it's accurate. I texted him again and said, "How do you know my partner? I've noticed you texting and calling her for months." He immediately got super defensive. Denied it. And said someone must have spoofed his number. I remained cordial. Took screenshots of the whole exchange. And stopped responding after he started denying. I was curious to see if my partner would act differently or if I would continue to see the number calling and texting. Sure enough, immediately after this exchange, phone and text notifications stopped showing on my partner's lock screen. Other random apps still show up, but not texts or calls. At this point I felt that confirmed her random guy calling old number story as the BS it obviously was. I wanted to confront her, but felt I still needed more solid proof before doing so. My partner has an iPad that is primarily used by our daughter to watch movies, play games, etc. It sits around the house. We all know the passcode. And there's nothing private about it. So yesterday I opened it up and started scrolling through the photos. I was curious if I'd find something incriminating. But since the capacity is small and most apps aren't even logged in, I doubted that I would. Much to my disappointment and semi-surprised that she'd be so stupid, there are screenshots in there of text exchanges between her and the guy at that number. And a screenshot from her phone's map app of her in Sanford. The text exchanges aren't sexually explicit, but one has several kissy face emojis and "I hope you sleep well," etc. Basically enough that it's obvious something is happening. But weak enough that she could still deny details. After all that, my question is now the time to confront her? Or do I keep lying in wait for her to provide even more solid evidence of a physical affair? I've come this far without confronting because I want rock-solid proof. But I'm wondering if it's worth drawing it out any longer. I graduate in May. This is my final semester. And I'm reticent to blow up our relationship before wrapping up the program. I know this sounds calculating. But finishing this offers significant financial gains that will benefit my daughter and me long term. I'm worried rocking the boat will become a time suck and throw me off course right at the finish line. Thoughts? Comment 1. I don't think you have much to lose if you confront her. You're not married. And anything out of pocket is for your child. There's no good reason for the emojis. And did you say there was a screenshot of her in Sanford? You have enough for an ultimatum. And the next time you catch her communicating, then you have some hard choices. Tell her you know she deleted messages after you confronted Sanford guy. And you know for a fact that before she changed her notification settings her communications were obvious. If you do that now, you will know by May what you need to do. Comment 2. With men, bonding in physical affairs more so. With women, we are emotional creatures. So that should be considered. BW here. My WH had exclusively online encounters. 1 EA. Other sexting with several others over a long period of time, 23 years married. If reconciliation were to happen, she would need to stop contact period. Completely open up her phone, email, social media to you. Get into therapy to change herself and figure out why she did this and prevent it from ever happening again, and of course, feel remorse for what she has done. Now this is if you would even consider it. And still a BS may not be able to get past it. As for any marriage/committed relationship, no one is perfect, but that never gives either one the right to go outside the relationship. Story 2. My GF 25F of 4 years told me 25M that she cheated on me. I thought I was okay. A little background on us. We went to high school together and were best friends. We relied on each other to blow off steam and just unload our problems to each other throughout our senior year. We went to separate colleges, but I ended up transferring to hers, and that's when we started dating. We've lived together for 3 years and gotten along great. We go on dates regularly, take trips together, and rely on each other for support with all of our problems. She's been wanting to get married for the past year or so, but I asked her to wait until she finishes grad school next year. I dropped out of college and have a stable job and financially support both of us. She contributes to meals and groceries now and then, but for the most part she works just to save money in case we need it for an emergency. My job is very time consuming. I work on call and am at different times of day, and sometimes I can be gone for a few days, but we always text or call each other while we're apart. Sometimes when I'm gone she'll go out with her girlfriends and have a few drinks. I don't stress it as I trusted her completely. She's never shown any signs of infidelity and had a friend who cheated on one of her other girlfriends, so she shunned the guy. She even hates cheaters on movies and TV. Well, this past Friday I went to work at 11 p.m. and she was just getting ready to go out with her friends. We kissed, said our I love yous, and went on about our business. The whole night I had a shaky feeling, so around 3 a.m. I text her saying I loved her and hope she's having a good night. Obviously no response, but that's not uncommon. She'll usually text in the morning when she wakes up. I got off work at 11 a.m. and was home about 12 p.m. As I was pulling in she pulled in right behind me. When she got out she was wearing the same clothes as the night before and looked a mess. She kissed me on the cheek timidly and we walked inside. As soon as I closed the door she broke down in tears and was just holding onto my legs for dear life. She said her friends met a guy at the bar who started buying them shots. He was touching her shoulders and mainly paying attention to her, or so she says. She said she got my text. He saw it and grabbed her phone, telling her to ignore it and have fun. This pissed me off to no end, but I didn't say anything. I let her tell her stories. She said she made out with him and he drove her car back to his place and they had sex. I stood there quiet for what seemed like 10 minutes and started putting my work bags away and getting ready for a shower. I was emotionally gone. I felt absolutely nothing for her at that moment. I scared myself in my mind because my body went on autopilot and just started doing my normal home routine. She followed me like a puppy dog, asking if I was going to say anything. I asked her if she enjoyed it and she stood there shocked and asked if I even cared about what happened. I told her, why would it matter to me what you do? You're a single woman. You can do what you want. She started wailing and flooding tears and it just didn't faze me. I was done. I told her I was going to take a shower and she needed to be gone when I got out. She tried stopping me from going in the bathroom and begged me to talk to her, but I wasn't having it. Well, she was gone when I got out. I didn't hear from her at all Saturday, but I heard from her mom, who was apologizing to me. She had told her mother everything that happened, and apparently she hung up on her Ken daughter. She tried calling me over 20 times Saturday, but I was still just not there emotionally. I thought I had ended this strongly. Completely over her instantly, but here I am today with nothing but her on my mind. Missing her and wanting her. I wanted to hear her voice, so I called her and we both cried over the phone. I want to take her back even though I know I shouldn't. It's just now starting to eat me apart inside and it sucks. I don't know what happened to the strong me that was just there, but now I'm a wreck. What am I supposed to do here? Try talk to her? Try rekindling this thing? I've always said I'd never take back a cheater, and she's always hated cheaters with a passion. Every time I think about it I despise her, but then I start longing for her. I'm just confused right now. TLDR. Girlfriend of 4 years cheated on me with a stranger and I thought I emotionally checked out, but now 2 days later I'm a wreck. Update. Hey everyone. This definitely blew up more than I thought it would. It's been a long work night for me and I'll get around to reading all of your comments when I wake up. I also have 224 fucking texts to read. Her friends, her mom, my brother, and one of my best friends have been trying to contact me all night thinking I've done something drastic. They all know my random work schedule, so I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but I'll try and update you all later on when I've figured things out. Thank you all for the feedback and support. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.